March 4th, 2026. Spooky scrapbook.
Wildcard line, you're on the air. Hi.
Hi, this is Brian in Philadelphia. This happened about 10 years ago. At 10 or 11, my grandmother died. I was never really particularly close to her. And about 3 days, I was having a lot of trouble reconciling with the grief. And about 3 days afterwards, I had this dream. And initially, if it wasn't for the punchline, I would just dismiss this as a dream.
Sure.
It's one of those dreams where you dream that it's morning and you're waking up.
Oh, I've done that.
I hate those kind of dreams.
I've done that. I've actually done that.
Yeah, it's like the dream pulls a trick on you, and you get up and you think you're going about your morning.
That's right.
And there was a knock at the door, at my bedroom door, and my dad's saying, someone's downstairs.
Actually, it's disorienting.
Yes. Yeah, well, it's disorienting when you actually wake up and it's still dark.
Yeah, and so, that's right. And so at that moment, the knock comes.
Yeah, knock, and it's my dad at the door, and he's getting ready to get in the shower. He's like, there's someone downstairs. And I go downstairs, and there's a buddy of mine saying my grandmother had come to his house and asked to be driven here. And he came in, but my grandmother refused to come in. She was standing out at the door. And so I go to the door, and there's my grandmother looking older and more haggard than I'd ever remembered her looking.
Oh, yes.
And she's in bare feet, and it's snowing, and it was fall when she died. We had no snow. And she's like scratching on the glass. And I go and I see her, and I'm shocked. And she just says, Brian, let me in. And I just got really, really spooked by that. And I'm just standing there saying, come in yourself. And she's like, no, let me in. And I refused to do that. And finally just went, you are not my grandmother. And I closed the door on her. And she started scratching on the glass, going, there is no heaven, there is no heaven. And it really, really spooked me out. And I went in, and my friend gave me some kind of comment about, man, you're really cold, or something like that. And I went upstairs, and at the top of the steps, there was my father in a dripping wet towel, because he'd gotten out of the shower, and he just said, who was that? And it was his mother that had died, and I just broke down crying, and all of a sudden woke up.
Oh, my
And I woke up, and it was the middle of the night, and I'm just shaking in bed, and I'm like, oh, man, that was really, really scary. And it bothered me for a couple of days, and I finally decided to mention it to the family.
Yeah.
And when I mentioned it, my father got real quiet, and he said, 20 years before, when I was 3, maybe 4 years old, we had this neighbor that lived next door she was this old woman who had never married, and she had gone a little loopy, and her relatives had carted her off to an institution.
Yes.
And my father relayed, he had a dream one night that he heard a pounding on the door. And he got up out of bed, and he went to the upstairs window, and he leaned out, and there was old Miss Esther scratching on the glass, begging to be let in.
Oh, God.
And his only response to her was, you are not Miss Esther. And he closed the window on her, and he went back to bed, and then, of course, woke up himself. A few days after that, he was at the supermarket, and he ran into Miss Esther's brother, who told her, oh, my sister just passed away this week.
Oh, brother.
I don't know what to make of that. I don't believe it was the actual spirit.
Just out of curiosity, had you let her in, what do you think would have happened?
That is something that has just racked my brain for 10 years. Had either my father 30 years ago or myself 10 years ago actually said, yes, come in, the consequences really, really freak me out.
Or worse yet, have you done something sinfully wrong by by not letting her in?
Yeah, well, there was just this overwhelming feeling of that is something that is very wrong. It was just, there was an all-pervasive, like when I said to it, you are not my grandmother, it was not out of fear, it was not out of like, oh, I don't want to deal with this. There was a sense of, this is something masquerading.
I got you, and I can't handle it anymore.
Narcissist never mourns the end of a relationship or a marriage, because the moment they can't control you anymore, then they start resenting it. Everything is now your fault because you got smart.
So that right there is true for a lot of narcissists, how they do not mourn the loss of a marriage or a relationship, but some of them mourn it not in the conventional way. And of course, if you're new here, I'm a narcissist. Actually, I have narcissistic personality disorder. Showing or expressing vulnerability is not something that a lot of narcissistic people will do. They see it as weakness. To show you that we are hurting and mourning the loss of relationship is showing you vulnerability, and we don't want to appear weak. Instead of mourning in the conventional way, like crying and going to therapy and working through it, most narcissistic people will mourn in a new relationship. They will move on quickly or try to move on quickly. They're working through all the emotions, the shame, the rejection, the pain and whatnot. They take all of that and love bomb the next person, or using the next person or the next relationship partner to heal and to mourn the loss of the relationship, the previous relationship. Part about losing control and resenting you, yeah, that is absolutely true, y'all. Once they lose control of you, they will absolutely start to resent you and try to punish you by giving the next person everything that you wanted and needed, by, love bombing the next person. That's why when you say a narcissistic person move on quickly, they seem so happy in a new relationship, because they're funneling all those negative emotions into positive emotions and trying to love bomb the next person to deal with the hurt and the pain. Hope this helps.
What is going on, brothers and sisters? I just wanted to... a couple people have come through and said, don't call narcissists demonic. Don't call them evil. They're people too. Yeah, they're evil people. Listen, I'm not dehumanizing anybody. Their own actions against other people make them evil. That makes them demonic. All right? When you love bomb somebody, when you hang out with them, when you know you are creating a bond with them and what their expectations are about love, and then you turn around and cheat on them, lie to them, use them, triangulate them with somebody else, you're fucking evil. If you're a person who lives through lies and distorts reality to create cognitive distance so that you can create a bond of problem with somebody, so that you can keep them feeling low about themselves, that's evil. When you use information to control somebody else, when you withhold information to keep somebody, to keep the person that loves you in a fog, that's evil. When you are a person who triangulates, who knows that someone loves them, goes to somebody else, starts love bombing them, devaluing the other person. The person that they're love bombing now gets to feel like the hero for a minute because they're talking trash on the person that was supporting them, giving them money, being honest, loyal, and truthful, just so that person can hop around back to the original person being abused, to abuse the other one when they need it. That is evil. Everything that these people do is fucking evil. All right, and I'm not talking about people with NPD that go to therapy, that they go and get help for their condition. Like, they're heroes, man, because they are fighting something within them, a condition within them that teaches them to be evil to others. Let me tell you this. Anyone who lives through lies, who creates an illusion, who uses and smears someone else's name so that they can feel better, any person with a fragile ego, with a low self-worth that needs to destroy others in order to feel better about themselves is fucking evil. That's what evil is. That's what it does. So don't, please, I can't really. Anybody that like still is in love with it, and I understand because I stood up for it, continue to try and help, continue to try to reach out to, continue to try to look for any grain of hope inside my abuser. I did, so I understand. But when you get to a certain point, you have to realize, first off, A, they don't love you. Love shouldn't have to work that hard. 2, love doesn't abuse you. 3, that person is evil for everything that they did. They are demonic. Okay, and the only person that can help them is themselves, if they ever choose to. Don't lower your own self-worth and deal with that kind of trash, and especially do not make excuses for it. Narcissists are fucking evil people. That is what it is. End of story. Be good to each other. Be good to yourself. And suffer no fools. Guys, I understand the excitement in the hashtag Bring Back Dueling movement. I get it. I love the enthusiasm. I like the suggestions. But look, calm down. Stop trying to send them to the gallows already. All right? Look, we can't stop. Don't plan on going out there and don't murking your narc right now. That's not what we're doing. We're having a discussion. All right? This thing's starting to catch fire. There's at least 3 people behind it right now. We're going to start petitions. And just think about this. Just even the idea of a narc not losing their life, but losing their supply. They don't give a shit about their life. They freaking hate themselves. They know who they are. They're pieces of trash. They're worried about their victims. They're worried about their food, their source supply. They're just staring their empty, dark eyes in the face. Feel everything alone. And listen, we are not discussing calibers at this time. All right, we are not using RPGs. Calm the fuck down. All right. Put hashtag Bring Back Dueling everywhere that you possibly can, and we're going to get this thing started. We're going to make this discussion happen openly. All right, but just calm down. Calm the fuck down. It ain't happening yet. All right, be good to each other. Suffer no fools. Jesus.
Here we go. This better be good. It's gonna be great. What do we have here? What do we have here?
I found out how cat rescues stop spraying instantly with zero retraining. I'm about to tell you exactly how we get any cat, even the most anxious, untrained, traumatized cats, to stop spraying inside instantly. And when I say instantly, I mean no behavioral modification.
You cannot help or fix someone who doesn't see anything wrong with their behavior. Trying anyway will only drain your energy and destroy your peace. You'll bend, explain, forgive, and overextend yourself hoping one day they'll finally understand. But awareness can't be forced on someone who refuses to reflect. You'll start questioning your tone, your delivery, your expectations. When the real issue was never your communication, it was their unwillingness to grow. You cannot heal someone who thinks they're always right. You cannot save someone who doesn't believe they need saving. And the longer you try, the more you abandon yourself in the process, sacrificing your boundaries, your rest, your joy. Love is not meant to feel like constant repair work. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is step back, protect your energy, and let people face the consequences of their own actions, because peace is too expensive to trade for potential.
You cannot help or fix someone who doesn't see anything wrong with their behavior, trying anyway, will only drain your energy and destroy your peace, You'll bend, explain, forgive, and overextend yourself hoping one day they'll finally understand. But awareness can't be forced on someone who refuses to reflect.
I'm spooky. Spirit guides healing myself, manifesting the shit out of abundance. This is for you, Libra.
Life's better with Amazon packages on your porch. I'm spooky.